Hello again, everyone. Welcome back. In this technical analysis of the stock market video, we're going to take a look at the Nasdaq 100 index today, the NDX, and the Qs. Take a look at XLK, which is the Technology ETF, Semiconductors, SMH, and two of the artificial intelligence darlings, SMCI, super microcomputer, and Nvidia. All right, let's start off here with the NDX. Down 356.68 on Friday, down 965.85 for the week. Huge drops. So what did I have dash lines in here? This big gap that occurred on February 22nd. That got closed on Wednesday. It started to get closed Monday, Tuesday, completely closed on Wednesday. And then we came down and further closed this small gap right here. That was occurred on January 19th. We've got another gap right down in here that occurred on January 18th. We'll see if that closes fairly quickly. But that's the picture we got on the NDX. Pretty much, coming unglued. And let's take a look at the Qs right here. Same kind of picture, same thing going on, same gap identified. Down 878.76 on Friday, down 23.62 for the week. And when I take a look at the Elliott Wave picture, here's what we've got. Here's what I'm looking at. Let's look at the weekly view first. So I continue to hold this as a large flat that's unfolding. A, B, and now we're working a C wave down. So where's my first target for a C wave? The first target I've got for C wave is coming down and revisiting the October 22 lows. So here's how it looks when we come over here and take a look at the daily. I just don't think that, let me get rid of this right now. I just don't think we've got 5 waves, and I don't think that the third wave in here is complete yet. So that's what I'm watching for, looking for this to finish. We're getting a little bit oversold on this move naturally, with the kind of move that we've had. And yes, it's been down for what? 1, 2, 4, 6 days in a row. And then I'm expecting a little fourth wave and then finish off with a fifth wave down. So we'll see how that plays out over the next week or two. Okay, that's where we sit with the Nasdaq 100. I'm going to go back to the moving average view. This is what I call my moving average view. Let's take a look at XLK. Here's the Technology ETF. Down 6.3% on the week. Huge move. This is the lowest weekly close since all the way back over here, the first week of January. Now, when you look at the daily picture in here, where are we sitting? We're sitting right at the 2023 close, December 29th, last trading day of the month of December. We closed at 192.48. You see it right here. Where did we close on Friday? 192.53. We're up a whopping 5 cents on the year. We gave it all back, and it all happened in about the last 5 days. So here's that big gap that I was showing you on NDX. Closed this gap. We've closed this gap with the low that occurred on Friday. We closed this gap right in here. So, so quite a bit of damage being done in here. Let's take a look at one of the key components of XLK. I mean, SMH, right? Semiconductors. Here's what happened with SMH. Semiconductors really got whacked. Here's the 2023 close on SMH. Okay, so you can see XLK is all the way down here. 174.87. We closed on Friday, 199.21. The difference between here and here is that in the aftermarket, it moved around a little bit more. Down 9.7% on the week. Huge. This was the biggest mover of all the ETFs I look at. I look at 16 different ETF sectors every week in my ETF dashboard, and this was the biggest mover to the downside by far. Now, it's still the leader to the upside for the year, but it put a heck of a dent into where it was sitting at one point. I mean, it's given back, it looks like, about half of the gain, and it may not be done yet. Okay, so that's the picture we got on SMH. Let's take a look at a couple of these AI darlings. Let's take a look at super microcomputer. Huge move to the downside. down 23.1% on Friday. Biggest one-day drop since August of last year. Now, we're talking about percentage drop, because this was a 20% drop right here on February 16th. But this was 23.1%. Big move to the downside. Now, these guys make equipment to handle AI work, but that's a lot of damage going on. Now, let's take a look at one of the Magnificent Seven, which is a semiconductor stock, an AI darling we've talked about, Nvidia. Steepest plunge since March of 2020 in the COVID crash. Okay, steepest plunge, down 10% in one day. Big move. First close below the 55-day moving average. You can see it right here since November 2nd. You got to go all the way back to right here, November 2nd. So we've given back a lot just in this last week here on Nvidia. And yeah, it looks like a lot of damage being done. So it's given back, the last 2 months worth of trading activity, price action in here on Nvidia. So it's going to be real interesting to see just where does this actually get some support. Yeah, what I wanted to show you over here on the weekly is it was down 10% on Friday, but down 13.6% on the week. So pretty huge move to the downside in here on Nvidia. But you could see, it was going straight up for quite a while. And I wanted to show you the Elliott Wave picture. So here's what I'm counting. Let's take a look at the weekly. Here's the long-term picture. Now I've adjusted this. This is my current view, my current vision on Nvidia. I think we're in a big cycle, third cycle wave. Within that, I think we just finished the primary wave 3 to the upside. And this primary wave 3 had 5 waves up. Now, where do I think we're going to get support on the move down, at least initially? I think it's going to come in right in here where? Around 450. I say that because the middle of all of this price congestion of this prior little wave 4. If indeed the third primary wave is done, okay, then we're going to get a much bigger correction than just moving down to something like this. Okay, we're going to get a correction that I estimate is going to take all the way out to October of 25 to finish. Now, what we don't know is how deep is it going to go? Is it going to go to the bottom of this prior fourth wave of 1 lower degree, intermediate wave 4? Or is it just going to go to the middle of this fourth wave? And what form is this corrective pattern going to take? Given that wave 2 was a deep, sharp correction, my expectation for wave 4 is a sideways type move that's going to take about 19 months. That's what I'm estimating. And it could be a flat, it could be a triangle, it could be a combination type correction, a combination of those. So yeah, it could be real messy and volatile, but I don't think it's going to finish until we get all the way out over here. Okay, that's where we sit with Nvidia. It's going to be interesting to see how this plays out over the next few months. All right, that's it for this video. If you felt like it was helpful, give it a thumbs up. If you're not a subscriber to the YouTube channel yet, hit that little subscriber button. And you ought to come over and check out the website, joehenches.net. Everyone, have a great week.